The FDA is currently deploying massive artificial intelligence systems to modernize how they review your submissions. They are automating safety assessments and parsing complex efficacy data are at speeds that would have been impossible just 3 years ago. They have officially acknowledged that the 20th century process is broken, and they are racing to evolve. Because the pipeline of breakthrough science is overwhelming their legacy systems. But here is the brutal asymmetry. While the regulator gets infinitely smarter and faster, the biotech industry has collapsed into the worst funding winter in modern history. Government grants have dried up and become statistically impossible for early-stage companies to secure venture capital. Has fled early development stage, scared off by the high risk of regulatory failure. Valuations have been cut in half. Runways have been slashed from years to months. Cash is now oxygen, and the tank is almost empty. In this merciless environment, you absolutely do not get a second chance. One unexpected protocol amendment, one submission strategy that fails under scrutiny, one compliance gap that triggers a clinical hold, and your company dies instantly, not because your molecule failed, but because you hemorrhaged your final millions fighting an opaque process that you could not see through. This creates an impossible playing field where the giant pharmaceutical companies navigate regulatory complexity with armies of former FDA staffers, dedicated competitive intelligence teams, and 8-figure annual consulting budgets. They can afford to model 10 different scenarios, hire 3 different opinions, and iterate behind fortress walls while failing in private. Meanwhile, startups and mid-sized biotechs are forced to make identical life-or-death decisions using fragmented PDFs, outdated guidance documents, and precedent locked inside the heads of consultants who bill $600 an hour. If you can even get them on the phone, this is regulatory combat, and you are fighting with a spreadsheet while they have a war room. Concept 2, Cure exists to obliterate that asymmetry and level the battlefield. We ingest the actual artifacts that constitute regulatory reality. We read every clinical study report, every Form 483, every warning letter, every approval summary, and every piece of agency correspondence. We transform this unstructured chaos into structured, machine-readable precedent that reveals the hidden patterns of success and failure. We separate the immutable ground truth of your science from the art of regulatory storytelling. We track decision patterns across thousands of approved and failed products across every major agency globally so that you can finally see what actually works versus what merely sounds good. Most critically, we give you the power of prospective reasoning that was previously reserved for big pharma. You can simulate submission pathways before committing your final cash. You can stress test your protocol design against historical failures that share your exact biomarker, your indication, your patient population. You can surface catastrophic risks when they are still $50,000 problems, not $50 million clinical holds that kill the company. This is not an AI writing assistant that helps you type faster. This is genuine evidence-driven regulatory strategy. In an era where capital has vanished and the FDA standards are rising exponentially, we ensure your regulatory execution is surgically precise the first time because you no longer have the runway to get it wrong twice. We compound intelligence with every document we process, learning from every decision pathway and every outcome to democratize regulatory excellence, because in this nuclear winter for biotech funding, precision is not just advantage, precision is survival, and only those with perfect execution will survive to bring their cures to the patients who are waiting.